Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is us, the Sisters Sanditon. We are indeed alive. After several bouts with COVID and various other illnesses, the Sisters Sanditon are back and ready to tackle the third season of Sanditon. The third and final season, I might add.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. So, without further ado, we give you Season 3, Episode 1 review. All right.
That was like perfectly timed to the music. Did you notice that? The music had like a little
did that
climax.
on purpose, Dan. What do you think, I'm an amateur?
It was absolutely perfect, my dad. I just had to give you some props for that.
Now,
it was charming.
Opening scene. We have Charlotte and Ralph traveling to Sanditon. And I can't help but think Ralph looks young. What do you think? He looks like a child,
yes,
kind of.
he looks young. They want him to look young.
Yes,
I think they want him to look a little immature in many ways.
And there are other parts where they put that hat on him, and I can't help
dear.
it. He looks like a leprechaun.
Everyone has said he'd look, poor little guy. He does. He'd look.
Well, couldn't
he's
they
got a
have
lot
given
of
him a
things
better
going
hat?
against him.
They could have given him a better hat.
No, they don't want him to look good. That's the whole point there. They want him to look out of place.
Well, he's
not
not
attractive.
ugly. He's
no,
not
he's
ugly. He's
no,
a handsome little chap.
Of course, he's very handsome. I mean, but it's just.
Yes.
He's not
they
as
don't
elegant.
want us to compare
They want him,
and they want us to like.
They want him to look a little like a country bumpkin. That's what I think.
You've hit the nail right on the head. Yes. All right. Now we see that Georgiana gets her inheritance here.
Yes.
Right. And so that's good. Finally.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And,
well, she's 21. So
yes.
That's what, right.
Yes,
she's become of age.
And then now why are Charlotte and Ralph coming back? Is that why they're coming back?
They're coming for her
Georgiana?
birthday.
That's
yes,
what I
for
thought.
her birthday
Okay.
party.
All right. All right. And then we're shortly introduced to the Montrose family.
Yes, they have come to Sanditon to escape some scandal, it seems.
Yes, to escape some scandal.
Yes.
And
scandal.
Lydia, the eldest daughter, is 27.
Yes.
Which I have down here, better get married quick.
Yes, and the funny thing is her mother consistently makes fun of her, and it makes her appear in even a worse light than she is, in public. It's so odd to me. She's like, oh,
yes.
Someone younger. Maybe you can hurry up and get married before you're her age. I mean, all sorts of things.
She's not a very
she's
kind.
like, thanks, mother. I mean, no, she's quite
is
rude.
Tom and Mary are back. They're thick as thieves.
Yes.
They're holding each other's. They're like two young lovers.
Well, I guess since Sanditon is thriving, everything's all right now.
I guess so.
And,
yes. Well, what do they say? Money talks. I mean. What's the biggest reason people get divorced? Dad's finances.
Money, yes.
All right,
so.
and he, of course, still looks like Mr. Peanut to me with the little
He walks down his little steps,
and
he
the
stands
top hat and
his
cane.
cane.
The cane.
He even does the pose.
I think my daughter even said it. She watched it with me this time, and she said, he looks like that guy from the Planters
peanut
jar
jar
in our pantry.
Oh,
all right,
goodness.
anyway. And then we see Edward, and he's going through all of these, penance type things, right? And they're making him do all these chores. To me, it seems silly and false and...
Okay, let me say one thing. I had forgotten, before I started watching this season, initially I was like, what is he doing there? Why hasn't he been banished or thrown in jail? I mean, for pity's sake, he tried to kill someone.
I have written down, he poisoned someone.
Yes, he tried to kill someone. He poisoned her.
Why is that okay?
And he impregnated a woman, which is very scandalous.
Normally when that happens in Austin, don't you go to a different area?
Wouldn't you be shunned from society? Yeah, to start new, just like the Montroses are doing. Try to start somewhere where no one has your reputation.
So that didn't, I'm putting a star by that. That didn't make sense to me.
But do you remember, I think, and I can't really remember, but I'm pretty sure at the end of season 2, she was like, oh, I've got plenty in mind for you. Like, Lady Denham was like, I've got plenty in mind for you, to make you.
Yes, but, I mean, come on.
I thought that she would send him away.
Even the hose, that was
ridiculous
to me.
She should have sent him to a monastery.
Yes.
To take the order.
Yes.
That's what she should have done.
Yes. But I thought the hose thing was just kind of...
The hose was hokey. To me, it didn't. It seemed too fake.
Like a little trickle.
Yes, it was just a little dribble.
I could stand that.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
It's
anyway.
like the it wore.
I didn't. Do you know
what
I realized?
Waterboarding.
Do you know what I don't think we wrote down? What? Costumes. Hair. I don't think it's in our notes, dear.
Well, it might be somewhere. Right now. Say it now.
They listened to us. Let me just put it that way. They listened to us. They took notes. I believe that they watched the Sister Sanditon.
Yes,
and they heard us say, Charlotte's hair is atrocious.
Yes.
The outfits need to change.
Yes.
They're ill-fitting. Blah, 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 blah.
Now,
and they took notes.
We need to remind people that they were filmed back to back.
Well, anyway, I think they fired the customer, and I think they got someone new in because the hair was gorgeous.
Honestly,
the makeup was flawless.
Oh.
Charlotte looked like a fresh as a
beautiful
cherry blossom.
Yes, in every scene, her makeup was flawless. She looked absolutely beautiful. Her hair was beautiful. Now, we said in the second season they wanted to make her look kind of sad
Yes,
and mourning,
I
but
got
it was
that,
a bit
but
much. It was
a
just
bit
so
much.
unattractive.
And no one's
so,
outfits were just great, but this time
No, the
every
outfits-
outfit was gorgeous. The hair was gorgeous. The costumes.
It was like they had saved their budget for the third season and be like, here, let's just get these little things for season 2 and let's go out with a bang.
I tell you,
Because
they
the
watched our
costumes-
reviews and they listened. Okay,
The
Now
costumes were so
that's
gorgeous.
what we're gonna go with.
They were gorgeous.
They
The
were-
colors, the richness of the fabric, the
and
velvet
she
coats.
Did she not
the
look
hats, the
beautiful,
bonnets.
Charlotte? In every
absolutely
scene,
beautiful.
The makeup was perfection.
And that's what made me remember why in one of our little videos we had filmed, I said she was the most beautiful Austen heroine we've ever had on film.
You did indeed.
I think she was.
Yes.
And season 2 made me go, oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Yes.
She's looking
No,
so sickly.
You are
but
right. You
she,
are right.
That's why I
They
said
got
She
it.
is gorgeous.
Bravo! Let's give him a hand. Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes.
All right. Now for a criticism.
All right. Yes. With every pro, there is a con.
Yes. Now.
And
this brings up. Go ahead,
Just
Dan.
thinking the
Go
same thing.
ahead.
This brings up a topic. Now, some of the viewers
This
who
is not in my notes. We're going off script.
some of the viewers who have some of the viewers who have very adamantly taken up arms against season 1's whole thing with Sydney and all of that stuff. They really, really love season 2.
Or vice versa.
Or vice
they
versa.
only love season 1 and they've boycotted season 2 and 3. Or
Yes.
whatever.
I lost my train of thought.
Yes.
It's gone. What was I saying?
Oh, you were going to say that in our reviews.
Yes, thank you.
In everything we
Yes.
review, there are always going to be some things we like about it
Yes.
and some things we don't like
And
about
this is
it.
a review.
And that's what this is. We're trying to just give you our points of view.
Right.
We don't love
Right.
one thing completely
Right.
or hate something
And
completely.
and it seems as though anytime we say anything negative, everyone's like, you should just be grateful you had another season. Like,
Yes.
yes, we are, but it's a review. We said
Or
plenty of-
if we say something positive, all the people that are the Theo
love-
James lovers come after us with
Your
pickaxes
turncoats! Yes.
and tell us that
Here's
we're
the thing-
traitors.
Yes.
We can't win.
No, we can't win. We said negative things about season 1 too, even though we loved it more than any show on earth. I mean, we
Right.
said, oh, after they kissed, they should have gotten engaged. It
Right.
was so silly. Why did they
So,
do this? And
that
then
is a
we
caveat to say you're going to hear pros and you're going to hear
Yes.
cons, and we hope that all of you will enjoy that and glean something from it. And I'm sure you all have your own feelings yourselves about
Yes.
every episode you've seen.
And
you
I have
like
one-
some things and you don't like some things.
Exactly. And I have one more thing to say on the topic.
Go for it.
And then I shall put it to bed forever.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. I think we said this in one of our live Instagrams we did. We have, as soon as this first episode aired, and I don't know, maybe this is at the end of my notes. I don't think it is. No. As soon as this first episode aired, I felt a renewed excitement about Sanditon. And I felt like I was really, really into it again.
Like, well, that was
season
good.
2
That got me interested
Yes.
again.
Whereas like season 2 opened, it was a little bit of a downer. Sydney had
Yes.
died, and we were like, oh, how are we going to move forward? What is going to happen? What's it going to be? And it was just, we had to go through all of that grief with Charlotte. She was crying, and everything was, and season 2 was just a little awkward at times.
Yes.
And it was kind of getting into the swing of things. Season 3 for me, I was like, they nailed it. Like
Yes,
they
I
hit it
think
out of the
it-
park
yes,
with
I liked it,
episode 1.
yes.
And we said that after
But-
we saw it at the
But
screening.
we also have to say, do we like it as well as the first season?
No.
No. I'm just being
I
honest.
just
I
don't.
don't. But if I take it for what it is,
Yes.
without the
It
first
was
season,
wonderful.
it's another period show that I can enjoy.
Yes.
I like the plot. I like
Yes.
the costumes.
And I liked
Austin, so-
season 3 much better than season 2.
Yes.
As
you go.
far as some of
Moving right along. There we go. We've gotten it out in the air. Now, too many relationships, in my opinion.
there was
Everyone
a
is
lot.
paired up, from the cats and the dogs on the street. We thought, who are all the people that are paired
You know
up?
what?
Tell me.
It-
The Lady D, she's
Lady
got a
D,
man.
She's gonna get a man.
Fuchs
Fuchs is gonna get with Miss Hankins.
is going to get
They're-
with the
they're
preacher's
canoodling.
sister. Who else?
Georgiana.
She's got a guy.
Charlotte. She's got
Charlotte.
2 men.
Augusta.
Augusta. What's her name?
Who else? Lady Susan.
Lady
and her
Susan.
man. There's too many
everyone-
relationships going on. Arthur.
Can't
Yes.
forget
Does
Arthur.
everyone have to be paired off?
Yeah.
No.
You know what it reminded me of? A Hallmark movie. Or everyone has to be in a tidy little bow at the end of at the end of the movie.
Yes.
Everything has to be happy. Everyone has to have someone.
I agree. I thought
It's like
maybe
it's
focus,
not real life.
Maybe focus a
necessarily.
little more on Charlotte and Colburn's
Well, and this is what's
relationship.
so funny is that they kept, like before in season 2 and stuff, they kept saying about how I don't need a man. I'm going to be independent. I don't need a man to be happy. We don't need, we don't need a man to feel fulfilled in that way. Like we can be feminists in that way. But it's like, of course, every Jane Austen movie ends with a happy ending of a
Right.
couple,
Mhm.
paired up a couple.
Yes.
But it's like they almost went over the top to like make
With
up
too
for
many
it. That like
couples,
too
yes.
much now. It's like that's not
we
quite real
understand
life.
you killed
Like
Sydney
not
off,
everybody.
but you don't need to give us 20 other pairings to make up for it.
Yes, pardon my.
Yes,
We're
we're off our game tonight.
Excuse
all right?
me,
That's
I
all
left
there
my
is to
teacup
it.
at home.
All right. Yes. In fact, we should probably tell our viewers we are now filming at my church. So if the backdrop looks different to you, it is. We've got some shells behind us, and Angelique tried to make them look pretty by throwing something over them, and I had these flowers.
I think I staged it quite lovely.
I think you did. Yeah, the cherry blossoms.
Yeah, they frame our faces.
are
They're
very
beautiful.
becoming.
Very
all right.
Austonian.
Now we must move. Here.
Yes.
We're taking too long.
Yes.
Now they have
moving.
the strange parlor game they play, Snapdragon.
Yes.
And I thought, now I've never seen that before, but
I've
of course,
seen it.
go ahead and
Well, I saw it in a Poirot episode where
course
they
you
were
have
playing
there.
the game and.
So that's legit then.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
real
it,
game.
you
There you have it. Another
Yes.
thing that Charlotte excels at,
And
Ralph can't.
doesn't.
I thought that was a little,
Yes.
Again, poor guy.
He can't seem to.
Like, how
he
many
can't-
times
he can't,
he
can't
tear
win
down
the-
his manhood?
I know. He can't win the game. He doesn't know the poetry.
Right.
He,
He
doesn't,
can't win the game. He doesn't know the. Okay, let's move on to that. The
Yeah.
poetry, right?
Mhm.
So, it didn't really make me think. I think it was supposed to kind of make us. In my opinion, it was supposed to kind of show us like, yep, see, they're not good together.
Right,
He's
they're not good
for
together.
her.
Right.
She's better with Colburn. But
Right.
when I watched it, it made me think of Sydney, and I was
Yes,
like, yeah,
because
her
that's
and
sort of that
Sydney.
literature is what
had
they
that
have shared.
literature bond.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't think it was supposed to do that, but
Well-
that's what it did for me.
Well,
and
they
of course,
had
they
mentioned
hint
Sydney.
at Charlotte. Yes, I wrote
They
that
mentioned
down.
his
There's a
name.
hint to Charlotte at Sydney's past.
They
And
said,
I have here, but old
Mr.
Ralph
Parker.
is in the dark.
Well, yeah, they talk about
As
how they
usual.
traveled to London,
Yes.
and he's like, I didn't even know you'd ever been to London.
Yeah, there's a
Like,
lot of things you
jeez.
didn't know, honey.
Yeah, he just
All
like
right.
who she's made out
Yes, yes.
Probably
now,
not
I
him.
have down here something. Modest wedding. He can't settle. Oh, I see. It says that he
wants
doesn't know the poetry like
Yeah.
Sydney, and he wants a modest wedding.
Yes, of course he
Well,
does.
there's nothing
He
wrong with a
can't.
little modesty.
What does that say?
That's it. Modest
Oh,
wedding.
yes,
He
modest-
can't
that's it,
compete.
that's it.
He can't compete
No,
with
he can't
Colburn
compete.
or any of the
No,
her
poor
leading men
Ralph.
that
He
she's
tries,
had.
but
Yes.
does he try? No, he really doesn't. Sometimes
Well,
he does.
he can
a
only
little
be
bit.
what he is, dear.
Yes, I mean he tries.
All
a little
right,
bit, I
and then
guess.
Lady Susan is back, right?
Oh,
And
let me
she-
say one more thing about that.
Oh, go ahead.
I think
dear.
he's always acting. In general, I feel like Ralph is always acting like he doesn't belong or he doesn't fit in, and Charlotte doesn't fit in. When in reality, Charlotte's worlds above him. Like she knows the poetry, she fits in with the
Yes.
people, she knows the dances. He doesn't know
Yes.
he's the one.
he's a fish
but
out
he's
of
like
water.
lumping them together as we
Yes.
don't fit in here,
Right.
darling. And she's
Let's
like,
go back to the farm.
speak for yourself, John Alden. Yeah, I mean it's just oh well.
Oh dear.
Poor little guy.
Lady Susan is back. Hurrah! And
Yes.
Charlotte doesn't
And-
even tell her she's engaged.
You realize she's not called Lady
Okay,
Susan
well,
in
I've
this
got a
episode.
beef to pick here.
They have
this
changed-
This is huge right here.
They have
Put a
changed
star by
her
this.
name. I think I wrote this in my notes later, but since you brought her up, they have changed her name, and I read online that it was actually a mistake
Did
on the part
anyone
of the
catch
writers.
this? Did anyone
All of a
else
sudden,
catch
they started
this?
calling her Lady de Clermont. I'm going, who the heck is Lady de Clermont? We're in church. I can't curse.
That's right, dear.
Who the is Lady de Clermont? I said, I've never heard of her. Come to find out, it's Lady Susan. But she wasn't called Lady
So when
Susan.
I have down
she
here,
was
Lady
called.
Susan is back. Not really.
No,
Lady.
she.
Clermont.
Where is she?
I don't know.
had it
We'll
written
find
down.
it later, dear. I don't think you did have it written
I
down.
thought
but
I had it
I
written down.
wrote it and you saw it, and,
Yes,
and that's all there is
She's
to
called
it.
something else
I didn't even. But
in the first
well,
season.
should I talk about it here?
What?
How strange it is that she was the king's mistress.
No,
and
we've got it written down in another.
All right,
another-
we'll come back to
Save that
that.
for another review.
I've got a lot to say about that. All
Yes.
right. She's shocked that Charlotte is marrying a farmer and returning to the village. She thinks that that's, she's
Returning to your village. I mean, that was that whole scene with
Charlotte, what's happened?
with what was Sydney's little lady's name? What was her name? The one he
housekeeper?
married? No, the one he
No.
married. The one that told us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I should think you'd find someone from your village. Go back to. And it was
Yes.
like this huge insult. Now that's just the heck what she's done.
Right.
Found some little bumpkin from a village.
Well, Lady Susan isn't happy. Can I call? I guess I shouldn't call
You
her
can
that
call her Lady
anymore.
Susan.
Anyway,
They don't call
they
her
run
that,
into
though.
Colburn's kids in town, and she sees that perhaps there is more there than meets the eye. Right.
Yes.
And did you notice that Georgiana says to her also in this episode, you're marrying the same man you came here to avoid. And then
Yes.
Charlotte says, I have this in quotes, not everyone has your fortune. What do I have here?
Foregone conclusion.
Dad doesn't want her.
To marry rich.
Yeah, what?
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I
Okay, so
didn't
we
get
talked
that.
about this. Number one, I have a lot of problems with this. Number
What?
one,
So she keeps saying, my father wants me to marry Ralph. Why is Ralph
Yeah.
so great?
what's so great about
You
him?
think the father would be like, hey, get back there with Colburn.
Yeah,
Give us all the money.
a gentleman who doesn't have a job, it doesn't work, he doesn't need one. He's got a big estate. He's like a big name in the county. And
let me pause you for a second. We have our Instagram running at the same time, so you people that are watching us at live, take notes, because we'll talk about this at the end if you have anything to say. And you all, of course, write your comments in the bottom.
yes.
Okay, finish, dear.
And I've forgotten.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I threw you right off. Well, anyway, the father doesn't...
Yeah,
he
why
seems
does
like
the father
he's so
want a better
gung-ho
match?
about her marrying Ralph.
Yes.
When I don't think Ralph is, like, way high up
And
there.
may I remind you, I probably have this in my notes later on when she said, I promised my father I would marry Ralph later in like episode 5 or something. But I'll say it here, I'll say it again, I'll say it till the cows come home. I don't understand, if this was such a big, already foregone conclusion that she and Ralph were to be married, why was she going to marry Sydney? No one mentioned Ralph at that point. She was ready to say, I'm getting married, Allison. I'm going to come home with some great news. She was writing a note to
You found the hole, dear. You found the hole again.
She wasn't going to marry
Leave it to you. You always will find the hole. Take a bow, dear.
Thank you.
Take a bow.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. It doesn't
You're
make sense.
right. She never said a word about it when she was dating Sydney.
Well, we have a viewer that has commented and said maybe her father didn't know about Colburn. She's very private. Maybe she didn't
Good
even
point.
tell him. Allison knows, but wouldn't you think Charlotte would
No, that's
say,
not...
hey,
no.
I've got a great, I got a
got
great
another
guy here who's
prospect
even
over
better.
here that's
I mean,
got-
I don't know.
No,
Like I said, she was going to marry
agree.
Sydney.
I agree with the viewer. I doubt she... That's not the thing you went and told your parents. You maybe
No.
told your sister or your best friend.
You wouldn't tell your parents you're courting a young man? I think everyone would have known back then.
When was she ever courting Colburn? They weren't ever courting.
That's right.
Was
They
she
just,
supposed to-
they just made out twice.
Yeah, what's she's going to tell her father? I made out with the guy?
Yes, you're right.
Oh
Okay,
my
well, good. She was
goodness.
courting Sydney.
Yes.
Practically.
Well...
They kissed, and he said he was going to propose that night.
Yes, but
She was ready to
word
say
doesn't
yes.
travel that fast, dear. She didn't even have time to write the letter before he dumped her. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Oh,
you're making my headache worse.
All
Now,
right.
I'm very fond of him. I greatly esteem him. I wrote that down.
That sounded just
Love
like the line
didn't work for
from
me.
Sense and Sensibility.
Yes. Did you all notice that?
Oh, yes.
Sense
She
and
said love.
Sensibility.
Yes.
Here we are, right
Yes,
here.
but the line that Charlotte said was
Yes.
love didn't work for me. Oh, that was so sad. Another
Yes.
nod to Sydney and what happened.
Yes.
Very, very sad.
Well, there we go. Throw it away. Pages are done. Let's keep moving on. I said here we have an Emma moment next. When
Yes, okay.
Charlotte and Mary. Okay, take over with your notes.
My
dear.
notes here. I can read them so much better. Is this?
No, this is
Wait.
some more of my notes.
This is first.
This is next. Oh dear. This is why we should type it up. Now, I said here, Colburn and the kids are back. Leonore says if marriage is so important, why aren't you married, Dad?
Yes, I thought that was
And
hilarious.
Augusta knows it's because he's still hung up on Charlotte.
Yes,
I like
of course.
that.
He had plenty of women.
Um,
Oh, that's what I thought. Oh, really? He had plenty of women to choose from. Come on. He's not good company. That's all he ever
No.
says. I'm not fit company, but he had plenty of women. Okay.
And then the old man who Tom wants to
The old man
invest
in the
with
from the sea.
stands outside the door like a
Yes.
stray
Rowley.
dog.
Rowley.
And if he was so important, his name even sounds like a dog now that you say that. Anyway, he stands on the porch like a stray dog, and if he was so important, why was Tom late? And why didn't they let him in the house to sit on the
Yeah,
parlor chair?
Tom knew he had an appointment. He was like rushing. I'm going to be late for my appointment.
I
He's
thought
completely
that
late
was
for
a
his
little
appointment.
silly. I thought that was silly.
Just roaming around Sanditon as usual.
Now, let me move
Yes.
on. Something happened in the past between him, this Rowley.
Oh,
Is that how you
yes,
say
Rowley.
it? Rowley
Yes,
and
Rowley.
Lady D. And
Yes, Lady
she
D
goes
hightails
waddling
it.
out. She goes
She
waddling out, which
waddles.
everybody loved the waddle.
It was
And
hilarious.
then they end up seated together later, and we
Yes.
see more of their little relationship.
at the birthday party.
I really like Colburn's niece, Augusta, in this first
Yes,
episode. I loved her. She's come into her own. She's a fun character. She's got spunk, right? And all her little conniving was just great.
Yes, she's very.
Getting invited to the ball and
To me, Augusta is like a modern woman placed
getting the uncle
in
to go.
Sanditon.
She knows,
Do you know what I
she
mean?
knows how to work
She's
it.
very wily and smart.
Yes.
And
That's a girl that knows
You
how
know?
to work a room. You know, that's what
Yes,
that is.
yes.
And the girls run into Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we had no idea how long it has been since the last time they saw her, but one of our
Yes.
viewers on Instagram said she thought it had been about 2 months.
yes.
So you may all comment and tell us what you think also. The girls tell Colburn that Miss Haywood is back, and she regrets her leaving. Did she say that?
No.
I don't think so.
Augusta,
He told the
she
girls that it
knows.
was her decision to leave, right?
Yes.
And Augusta knows that they are in love.
Yes, yes.
Now
Now
I
we
can
have the
tell-
Emma moment.
Yes.
Okay, so Tom and Mary have their little look when they're like looking longingly, lovingly at each other, and I think Charlotte's kind of like, ugh, I don't have
Yes,
that, you know,
yes.
because she doesn't love Ralph.
But they go
anyway,
on their little trek.
she goes on
into
a little trip
to the village.
to the
see
village
poor
to see
people,
Miss Filkins,
which is just like Emma.
and to
right?
bring a
It was your
basket
job to bring
with
the basket.
provisions.
Yes.
And and Mary's like, oh, she's my, she's been my maid, but she keeps having, she
Yeah.
got married, she keeps having children.
Look at her life. All it reminded me of was Little Women when Amy's in there feeding the
go to
popovers to the
visit
kids.
the
One
Hummels.
for you, and one
One
for
for
you,
you,
and one for you,
and
and one for me. It was just like, it was like
Yeah,
20
the daughter's
mouths
got
to
the
feed.
fever. However,
She's shaking the baby, and
However-
Charlotte's like, get me out of here.
However, I have another bone to pick. Now, they
I
said,
know.
she keeps having kids. Here she is with all these kids. I counted 5. Charlotte is one of 12, my dear.
That's true.
So who keeps having kids?
That's true.
Ask Charlotte's mother.
Charlotte can look at her own
All right.
mother's life.
And,
Yeah, that's
Charlotte
true.
was like, oh.
Anyway, I just thought it was funny.
Anyway,
Before you know it, you'll be just like me.
And we just went, here you are, dirt poor, living with a passel of children who you can't feed.
And the woman says it like this is.
Yeah, you'll
this
be
is
just
great.
Oh my gosh. I would have been like, bye. All right.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte, you could tell Charlotte was like,
Living
I'm
the
out.
life on the farm.
I'm out.
That sounds great.
Mary mentions
Okay.
it's nice to find an occupation outside of being a wife and mother. We keep getting hints at Charlotte not belonging to that life or just life on the farm.
Right.
With the
To
kiddos.
just being at the farm is just not going to be enough for her.
No. Well,
You know.
let's move on. Arthur
Yes.
feels responsible for the debacle with Lockhart, and
Yes.
he's trying to make up for it with the birthday party
Planning
for
a big,
Georgiana,
big
right?
soiree.
Georgiana's still trying to fend off the suitors,
Yeah.
and the Duke comes over looking like a peacock and says, and here we have our Bridgerton
Yes.
moment, which
Yes.
I forgot to write on here, but I've got it in my brain.
Well, it's not necessarily Bridgerton moment quite yet. It's
Oh.
getting there, and then they make their plans
Oh,
later.
well,
But
no
it's a little
wonder.
bit, it's fine.
Oh, well,
so
anyway.
he says, if you'll just pretend to find me amusing, I'll leave you alone, because my
Yes,
mother's
and
watching.
and it's
So
the
she's
beginning
like,
of the
okay,
Bridgerton moment.
It's the beginning.
We're going
So
to take
then
it from Bridgerton. We're going to do
Georgiana
the
says,
farce relationship.
she says, I'll do you one better. I'll walk into my party with you, and
Right.
then we'll look like we're,
Right.
a thing, maybe an
Right.
item.
In fact,
So
we
she
can go
does.
to it right now.
Yeah.
She has a moment where she's looking at shells on the beach.
Yes.
She remembers her mother, who she's trying to find, and then she sees the Duke in a rather precarious
that's
position
right, that's
with
right.
another man in one of the changing caravans,
That's right, that's why she
and
does.
now we know why he's not interested in Georgiana. So he calls on her and asks her to forget what she saw, and
That's
where
why she
they're
does
gonna.
it. Yes, I'm sorry, I
You're
jumped
going to go to
gun.
the ball, right? And
Yes.
is that where they hatch their scheme, or is it after the ball? I can't remember.
I think it's
But
later.
regardless,
And
they
speaking of
hatch
the
their
ball-
Bridgerton scheme.
Yes. Well, speaking of the ball,
Yes.
Georgiana had not known that the Colburn and Augusta would be back in Sanditon for her party.
Yes,
for
yes,
her
yes.
party. And so she didn't invite them. And Augusta's like, we got to get an invitation
She
so
plays
that,
her cards
so that
right
Charlotte
again.
and dear old Uncle Colburn can get together, because she knows.
Right,
She's like, I think
right.
they've got a
Yes,
thing and they need to be
yes.
together. So she goes, we brought you a present. And so she's like, oh shoot, I didn't invite you to my party. And she's like, I didn't know you were
We
going to
can
be
find
here.
room for you.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, I'll need my chaperone.
Yeah.
Oh,
I couldn't
bring
go
him along
alone.
too. And Charlotte's like, what the heck?
Yeah. You're in church, dear.
What
Yes.
the heck?
Yes.
All right,
So
now.
that's going to be awkward.
And then we cut to Augusta telling Colburn that she's accepted an invitation to the ball. He says he's not sure he can be good company.
Hasn't he said that in the last season? Not sure I can be good company at such short notice.
Get
When
it
can he ever
together,
be good
man!
company?
Come on, liven yourself
I'm
up
sorry,
a
he
little
needs
bit.
to have preparation
Oh, my
to make himself
goodness.
good company. It's
So
such
not
short
much has
notice.
changed then with
Yeah.
him. Well,
Oh,
anyway,
good.
the girls say Miss Hayward will be there.
And
And he
hadn't-
stops.
Hadn't we said at the end of season 2 that he better come back a changed man and
Yes.
make up for all of his
Guns
blunders
blazing.
and get his together so that he's not like, the girls miss you.
Right, right.
he doesn't seem like he's changed
No,
much.
no, he needs
so
to
far.
get on it. Well, he will.
He will.
in just a
But
moment.
so far.
So Leo tells him that she's expressed great hope in your attending. Charlotte, in
Charlotte.
other words.
When she didn't say that at all.
He's going to think she wants him there, but he doesn't even know.
doesn't
weren't
even
you
know
just
she's
seeing
engaged.
this like a train
Oh,
wreck? I
yes,
was like holding the
yes.
table. I
I
was
said,
like,
this is going
this
to
is going to
be-
be bad. Yeah. So he's ready for the ball, and Mrs. Wheatley says he must be seen at his best, and you feel
Oh,
so
so
bad
sweet.
for the guy. He's all dressed up, he's all gussied up, and life doesn't afford second chances, right?
Yes, and
So
he goes,
few
I
second chances.
know.
And then he's
Don't
like,
I
yeah,
know it?
I'm
He's
doing
gonna go get her.
I'm doing it. So he's
Which I
going
also
for the
think
girl.
is funny. It's like nothing had passed. All of a sudden, he was gonna go and was he gonna propose right then and there?
Yes.
Charlotte, I was wrong. I love you.
Yes.
I heard
Yes.
you wanted me to come, and I'm
Yes.
here. And
But he goes hoping for Charlotte.
Yeah.
The new girl
Lady Lydia
is going hoping for
Colburn,
Colburn.
because the mother
And
wants them to be
Charlotte's
matched.
probably just hoping to avoid any awkward scenes with
situation.
her old love and her fiancé.
It's
So
been a
there we have it. This
disaster.
is going to be a great party all around. Charlotte looks beautiful and looks like she's almost
Gorgeous.
wearing the dress she wore when Sydney was trying
Yes,
to
she
propose.
wears that like slate gray,
pale-
blue,
yes,
beautiful.
yes.
It's beautiful, but
And what use will Charlotte have for such finery in Willingdon?
good old Ralphie.
Thanks, Ralph.
Yeah.
Bringing me back to reality,
Yes.
boy.
Well, Lady de Clement's not having it. She goes, give me some champagne, please. It's like, she can tell that she's like, brother.
It's like, Lady Susan, and she sees it, and Ralph wants her barefoot and pregnant.
Oh,
All right?
gosh.
That's all there is to
Oh.
it. Next!
God save us.
Arthur has to-
God save us all.
It's like our life. Yeah, exactly. Gosh, whatever you do, Charlotte, don't do it. Okay.
Well, I got to talk about that in episode
we will.
episode
we
6.
will. Arthur's done a beautiful job job of party planning. Dr. Fuchs says he's going to be out of town and must delay Edward's treatment. And he says, what a shame. And Lady D says, I can wield a hose. Don't worry, I can handle it.
She's going to keep up the treatment.
Yes, which is like I said,
it looks like it's doing so good.
Silly in
the whole
place.
thing, and people keep talking about Edward. Is he changing? Is he not changing? It's pretty clear that he's not changing.
I don't see that he's changing in these episodes at least. For sure this one.
I mean,
every time they leave, he's like, giving them the bird behind their back. I mean, that type of thing. He's like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is great.
No. Same old Edward. No, he's just trying to go along with it to get in the good graces.
He's always ready to hatch his next plot. All right, so Colburn comes into the room, and Charlotte sees him right away and can't look away, and he's looking for her, and when he sees her, he immediately goes to her. He means business. And Augusta, once again, she takes the bull by the horns. Come on over here, Lady Susan.
Away.
Let's chat. And he tells her, you look exceptionally well. I came more than willingly. I was hoping we might have a chance to speak.
He came more than willingly, only after he found out that she was going to be there.
But of course, who interrupts him? Lady Lydia trying to get her daughter introduced. She wants Colburn for her daughter.
Wait, Lady Lydia is the daughter.
No, sorry. Lady
Montrose
is trying to get her daughter introduced. And it reminded me of the mother of,
Bennett.
Pride and Prejudice. Yeah. Here's my eligible daughter. Isn't she lovely?
Yeah,
it's kind of like Mary standing there.
Do try to sparkle a little.
Yeah, exactly. Lady Susan is talking to Ralph. And he says, I've known and loved her my whole life. So there are moments where you totally are rooting for Ralph. You're like, poor guy. And he's going to get screwed, but you feel bad for him.
I just don't think he loves her in the way that's going to be enough for her.
No, and he says
doesn't value certain things about her.
He doesn't recognize her in Sanditon.
That's the problem.
He just can't.
Because he sees her playing cricket in Willingdon and running around with her hair down,
but there's
doing
a
the
whole part
do-si-do.
of her life that she wants to share with the man she's with that he just doesn't have. For better or worse, he cannot say. But Lady Susan says, for better or for worse.
How is she? He doesn't recognize her. Is it better? Like you're impressed, or
and Lady Susan's not happy with that. Wrong answer. Right?
Yes. He should have said she's amazing.
Yes, exactly. Charlotte and Colburn keep exchanging these long, longing looks.
Yes,
and poor little Leo's waiting at home, hoping they're dancing together, and she'll have a new mama.
When she and Miss...
When really none of them know she's...
No,
she's engaged, folks. It's too heartbreaking.
And
they're both
Mrs.
smiling.
Wheatley.
They want it to happen. Everybody wants it to happen.
Oh, it's so sweet, and you just feel so sad.
And poor Colburn.
When she goes, she could be my new mama. They could be dancing together this very moment.
Yes.
It was the sweetest thing. I just felt so bad for her.
You just want them to be a family.
Yes.
But Colburn is going to be like a deer caught in the headlights in just a moment here. He comes to Charlotte and says, I thought you'd want to keep your distance, but when I heard you'd spoken of your departure with regret, I dared to hope that there might yet be a chance to tell you that. And he moves in closer, and just then old Ralph, like the train, comes in, interrupts him by calling Charlotte by her Christian name.
Indeed.
I don't think Colburn has ever called her Charlotte yet, has he?
But they've shared a different kind of intimacy, haven't they?
Yes, more
They've already made out.
Than Charlotte and Ralph have.
Yes, I guarantee you Ralphie hasn't made out.
Yes. So Colburn looks at Ralph, and then Charlotte, like...
Yes.
Who the...
Yes.
Who is this?
He's just absolutely shocked.
She introduces him, and Colburn is absolutely taken aback and just stares. And you wanted to talk about his acting here.
Well, I felt like it was so painful to watch. It was great acting. And I did read something about him, asking the director, a lot of times, like, do I need to say this? I just want to say it with my eyes. And he took out a lot of lines, actually, here and there, with the of the director, because I think it's almost more poignant when he's just like...
Yes. He does great there.
I mean, he's just
like... But then how you see him compose himself, like, now I'm going to compose myself, and I'm going to say that.
And I felt, it was painful to watch. Like I said, I felt so bad for him, because here he came with this expectation, thinking, I'm going to get her back. Yes. Like, I'm dressed, and I'm going to...
He tries to save face by saying, I was hoping to convince her to come back as governess.
Yes.
That was great.
Smart.
He was good on
that.
Poor
guy.
Says you've proven to be irreplaceable, which, of course, there's a double meaning in that.
Yes.
You know what that's from, right?
Yes.
There's a double meaning in that.
Yes, Much Ado About Nothing.
Ooh, I thought I was going to stump you.
No. We say
rat.
that all the time.
All right, later Ralph tells her...
She's like, oh my, Colburn isn't quite the ogre you made him out to be.
Yes, aren't
Clearly,
you glad
she was
I
like,
saved...
when you tell your boyfriend or your fiance or something like, oh no, honey, he was like old and fat and whatever, and then he meets him and he's like, gorgeous and like rich and wealthy and single.
He's got the six-pack.
Yeah,
and your guy's
that's the guy you were marooned on the island with. Yeah, what's that movie? You know that movie, My Favorite Wife with Cary Grant? Yes, that's what it reminded me of. She was like, oh, Ralph.
This isn't even in the notes, ladies and gentlemen. This is just coming out of these little brains right here. Oh, we're good.
I just can imagine her telling, oh, Ralph, he says he was a terrible old fuddy-duddy.
Double chin,
not quite how you would.
He can't even compare to you. And then Ralph shows up and he's like,
they're both farmers. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, well, anyway, he says, aren't you glad I saved you from the life of a governess?
I'm sorry, I took great offense to that line.
Stop the presses.
I know you were like, oh, wasn't that, Ralph didn't mean anything. I took great offense to that, whether he meant anything or not. To me, number one, like, he shouldn't have, he just came off so condescending, like, aren't you happy I saved you? Like, bend down and kiss my feet. I mean, that's what
Saving
just
her
made me
from
think.
being a penniless spinster or something?
That's what, I wrote that. That's like what he was like what he was acting like. Like, oh,
you
aren't you
have
glad I
down here,
saved
she's
you?
way out of his league.
Yeah.
He's clueless,
I just,
think.
like, I'm sorry.
I don't think he meant it as a slight.
I'm sure he didn't, but it came out.
He doesn't even know how great she is, so,
That's the problem.
In
People
his
keep saying,
mind,
I
he
hope you
thinks,
know.
Yeah, he
Don't you
saved
think?
her from being a nobody.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the ballroom gossip. Lady Montrose says,
My.
What
did I say?
You got it
My,
right,
comma.
dear. That's twice now.
Okay, hold
That's
on.
twice.
Lady Montrose says, my,
Quotes, dear.
comma, Corbin has a pleasing countenance. Lady Susan agrees, and then she's like, I thought he was a little young for you. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, she got her little dig in.
Yeah.
And Miss
Doesn't care for
Hankins
her.
is dancing with Edward.
Again.
Right? And says
Yes.
Augusta inherited a small fortune from her parents.
And Edward all of a sudden is like,
Uh-huh.
and you see all he's thinking about is that money, and you know
Yeah.
he's going to set his sights on her next.
Last page! How are we on time? Oh dear, we're at 30
minutes in.
Wrap it up quick. Lady D talking about Rodian says, you won't accept a halfpenny of that man's money. She doesn't trust him.
No.
Because there's a history there.
Yes, we'll find out soon enough.
Augusta asked Charlotte why she didn't tell her she was to be married. And Charlotte says, oh, I thought I did.
That's another one. Poor
Never
Ralph.
mind.
Here's the wool, Ralph. Put it over his eyes. I mean, come on. Poor
Ralph
Ralph.
says it's hardly the sort of thing to slip your mind, dear. I mean, aren't you dreaming of the day where we shall be wed?
Yes, what's the holdup? Why
Oh,
haven't they
my
been wed
goodness.
already? That's
Well,
another question I have.
Yes.
What are they waiting for?
Georgiana saves her and says, you must join the next dance. Ralph doesn't know how to do it.
No.
Right? Conveniently.
No, yes.
So her and Charlotte go off. You and Mr.
He
Colburn?
doesn't know. Yeah.
Charlotte says, oh, there's nothing to tell. Nothing's
Yeah.
happened. Yeah, right.
She doesn't confide very much in Georgiana anymore.
No. Dr.
They
Fuchs
used
is
to.
going to write Miss Hankins in other news.
Okay.
And Edward is making the moves on Augusta, but she says she's been warned.
Yes. That's
Well,
the other thing.
That's the thing. If she's so smart, then why doesn't she use her brain?
Everyone
and think,
has
now,
heard
wait a
of
minute.
him. Correct? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a reputation, I would
Right.
assume.
Why is he allowed to go to these balls?
I don't
and everything,
know.
If he's this black scoundrel.
I
mean,
don't
you know, his character's black.
I just don't know.
Anyway,
Yes,
anyway.
I don't know. It's odd.
On we
Onward.
go. Charlotte and Colburn dance with tension.
Yeah, they
Wish
don't-
you
it's
luck
just
in
so
finding
awkward.
a governess. I wish you a happy marriage. I hope he's worthy of you. And you put, does she still not know he's in love with her?
Well, I felt like she looked almost surprised that he said that, I hope he's worthy of you. She seemed like she was like, oh, you do?
Yes.
Like, that's quite a compliment.
Yes. And Lady Lydia and Colburn are now, they're going to
Chatting
get
it
together.
up.
He invites her to come riding.
What? No! No!
Georgiana's
He's moving
going to-
on already. He finds out Charlotte's engaged and move
That's
on to
right.
the next woman.
He does that several times, which is
Oh,
kind of
for
funny. As
pity's
soon as
sake.
his pride gets hurt, he's like, that's it!
Yeah.
I'm going back to Lady Lydia! Oh my gosh! Why is our thing freezing?
I don't know. I hope it's working.
Oh,
if not, we've
Lord.
got it on here.
Lord, let this work.
Right? We've got it on here.
It's freezing.
If it's not,
It is
Oh.
freezing on our screen. It's not freezing for them over here, but
No.
it's freezing over here.
I don't know why.
Oh dear, I'm
Well,
going.
we'll
I'm going
see.
to start to sweat. Well,
We'll
we're almost
see.
at the end. Georgiana's going to continue her arrangement with the Duke of Buckinghamshire, which is the Bridgerton.
And that's what I didn't write down. I guess, like you said, I never actually wrote down
when they
you
hatched
said.
their plot. Well, it
let's-
doesn't matter. They
yes.
did. They hatched the Bridgerton
So they
plot.
hatched the
Let's
plot
fake
to-
it. Everybody will think we're together, and nobody
Fake
will bother
it.
us.
Okay.
All right.
Fake it
Stop-
till you make it.
Stop the music. Lockhart enters.
And he's the one that
I
shouts,
just
"Stop the
speak
music."
with you. I must speak with you alone. He says.
I must speak with you alone.
He serves her with papers, saying he's the
Papers,
rightful
papers.
heir to her father's fortune.
Yes.
Find yourself a lawyer.
That's what I say to that. My dear.
And there you have
Dun,
it.
dun, dun.
Episode
1.
Season 3, in a nutshell.
What do you
33
think?
minutes and 49
What do you
seconds.
think of
Now,
it?
I think
Such drama at the end. Well, we watched this for the first time in the screening with a bunch of other viewers at
Yes.
PBS headquarters.
We
And
did.
at the end, we all went, you know, when he
Yes.
showed up, Noelle for a split second was like, has he come back for her? Is he really in love with her? I said, no, are you crazy?
No, you idiot. And I was like, oh, sorry. Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this. We'll be back with
And-
episode 2.
And please like our video, subscribe to our channel. Please subscribe. It's not
For the
that
love
hard.
of God,
Just
subscribe.
sign up for a free
There I go
YouTube
again.
account.
Sorry.
So you sign up for a free YouTube account. Subscribe to our channel.
Like, share.
You can follow us on Facebook for more information.
We go on Instagram
You can find us
live
on Instagram
all the time, like
In fact,
these
we're
ladies
live
over
right now.
here.
These dear, lovely women have been watching us
Yes,
crack
for
ourselves up for
2
an hour.
hours. All right. Have a wonderful evening. We'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye. I don't have the music. I always play the
Pete's
theme
sake,
song.
Go get your phone.
Should I? Wait a minute, it's on the iPad.
She says she doesn't care about spoilers. Good.
I might
This
not
is
be
all
able to-
part of the process, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen,
She forgot our
get it.
music.
If I don't have internet, I
How
might
about
not
if
be
I
able to
sing
get
it? Da 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 da.
Oh my gosh.
Do 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 do.
Oh my gosh, that's actually quite good. That's actually quite good.
You're going to watch? Are you going to get up? How many people
Sanditon.
are watching? 5 people. What a joke.
This is our biggest viewers.
Tell your friends, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, wait a minute. I can share this while you're doing that to our people. Invite.
Invite.
See? Oh, there's only 5 people live right now, and all of them are watching.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Well, I guess we should have made
Everyone's
an
at dinner.
announcement, dear. They're all on.
Everyone's
that's
at dinner.
live. Everyone that's live that watches us is on. So all 5 of you, you're about to have the time of your life, really. Really and truly.
I know I am.
Can you see Angelique here? There we go.
All right.
Yeah,
It's
your
still
phone.
rolling. It's still
Your
rolling.
phone. Oh
my phone.
gosh.
Hold on.
Well, I thought you were getting your phone in the first place.
I've always
You should see yourself in that short shirt with those legs.
I look like.
Wait,
Did I?
I gotta show the ladies.
Did I do that?
Oh, this outfit is so bad.
I look just like Steve Urkel
Yes,
with
you
this
do.
high waist.
Oh, Susan's in the middle of preparing dinner. Well, perfect. We'll give you
Oh.
some comic relief while you cook. Yeah, why didn't you just pull it up on your phone in the first place?
Because I don't think I have Spotify on here, darling.
You know, I have to be at work tomorrow, dear.
Please,
Spotify,
you work from home.
just find it on YouTube.
How?
Anywhere.
Sanditon
Go to
theme
YouTube,
song.
Sanditon theme song. Type it in. Oh my goodness, this should be the easiest part of the night. There you
Alright.
go. I give you season 3, episode 1.
I'm Alistair Cook.
Masterpiece theater.
All right.
press stop. Sorry, ladies, we have to.
Blue one's so
Oh.
shadow.
Frickin'.
You're filming, dear. And you're on hallowed ground, so watch it. Watch it. Wipe your muddy boots. What's that from? Lord bless all in this house. Wipe your muddy boots. Thank you. It's from The Quiet Man.
Okay, I'm picking the first one, and that's it. We're going with this and number 1.
That's pretty.
Okay,
That's
you
good.
ready?
Yeah. Here we are. Sorry. Here we are. That's from Bob Cratchit. Sorry,
Charles
I can't help
Dickens.
it.
Oh,
I can't help it.
All right, we're
I
telling
think I
your
need some
followers-
lipstick. Do I need some lipstick?
Yes, you do. You look pale and sickly, dear. Go make yourself look pretty.
Oh gosh.
All right. For
There.
those of you joining for the first time or the second time, we are doing
Excuse me.
Sister Sanditon. Excuse me. Would you like to
Excuse
look
me.
at yourself again? We're doing Sister Sanditon behind the scenes tonight. We've just gotten together at my church. We're going to film. We got dressed. We
Thank
have
God.
gone over our script. Here's our costumes. These are just tops from the Goodwill.
Tops. We are wearing bottoms. Just can't see them. It's just tops.
All right. And I'm going to let you guys watch.
These chairs are
All
rather
right.
squeaky, aren't they?
Oh dear. Well, try not
Don't
to
move.
Don't move a lot.
Well,
Now.
how shall you pinch me under the table?
going to-
How can you kick me under the table
Oh,
in
you're
silence?
right. You're right.
Very squeaky.
Well, pick a different one then.
No, it's
They're
all right.
Not very
Is
comfortable.
yours squeaky?
There's one.
No, I'm not going to sit on that little stool. It'll hurt
No,
my
I mean
bottom.
there's one. You
What?
have all your clothes on
Oh,
it.
Is yours squeaky?
No. It's just
Oh, there.
because I'm so
Okay.
light.
Let's begin, shall we?
to film. And we are going to be filming our review of episode 1, season 3. So for all of you that are so upset it's over, you get to sit tonight and you get to hear us
Entertain
dish
you.
about
Let
all of the good
me
things and the bad things.
entertain you. Let me make you smile.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be a long night. All right, you've got your notes. I'm going to do the reading.
I've got my
correct?
notes. You try to read and I'll try to.
Or if you
I'll
want,
try to make witty comments.
if you want to jump in, feel free to
I
jump
always
in.
lose my place.
I know you do.
I
which
shall
is
try.
why I have to handle it. Now, you ladies and gentlemen are getting a little bit look, see, they have a different angle than is
Yes.
on the screen. So,
So they
you
won't be
may see
seeing
me.
me.
You may see me poke her like
Oh,
this. That
yes.
means shut up.
Yes.
You're talking too
When
much.
I can get long-winded, my sister
She
has
can
to
get
keep me on
very
track.
long-winded, as you all know, probably. And so I'll poke her when I need
Thank
her
you,
to
dear.
shut up.
Thank you
Now-
so much.
Now, don't forget, we're in the house of the Lord, dear.
Yes.
So watch what you
We
say
can't.
tonight.
We can't bleep anybody out if they're
That's
watching
right.
live. I can't bleep you out like
That's
I always
right.
have to.
I shall watch my tongue. I promise. I'll be a good girl.
I shall try and hold my tongue. Yes. Is that from Emma?
Emma. Hello, if you're joining.
Oh,
We are going. Oh wait, I better put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
oh dear.
We're filming. Is yours on Do Not Disturb?
Mhm.
All right.
Of course it is.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, we forgot to write an opening.
I forgot.
All part of the process.
I forgot to get the person.
7 brides for 7 brothers.
Adam, I forgot to get the
Oh
person.
my gosh. Now, this is all part of the process, ladies and gents.
All part of the show.
We forgot. Nothing to see here. We have forgotten to write the intro. Oh my goodness. What do we say?
It's got to be. I mean, lords and
Yes.
ladies. This is.
No, this is
Dear
this
ladies
is
and
huge.
gentlemen,
We are still
finally-
alive. That's what I'm going to say. Yes, it is us.
The
we are
Sisters
alive.
Sanditon.
Why are you recording?
I don't know. I forgot.
Stop the music. Lockhart enters. I just speak with you alone.
I must speak with you. It's supposed to say I must.
Typo. I must
speak with you alone.
Oh, that would have been lovely, dear.
I just speak with you
alone.
alone.
He serves her with papers saying he's the rightful heir to her father's fortune. Find
Find
yourself a lawyer.
Dun dun dun.
I love it, dear. Now,
So much
be careful
drama.
what you say. We are in the Lord's house, so
Yes.
watch yourself.
Me, you're the one who's always cursing. I have to beep everything you say out.
Oh, beep you.
I mean, I can't say beep or beep or beep or beep or beep.
No, none of that. Forgive us, Lord.
You're not Catholic.
I know. I just thought it worked. Oh, gosh. All right. The walls have ears, so seriously, watch what you say.
Oh my
We'll be
gosh.
being filmed.